Thank you, Brent. Thank you, Bob. And Larry. And how about a round of applause for a great show? I know you guys haven't seen it. I have to tell you that I feel very blessed that I get to do something that I'm extremely passionate about for a living. And the person that I originally started with is my hero, my father. And the first lesson that he ever taught me is that if you're going to do something, do it your absolute best and do it right, or don't do it at all. And that's something that we try to do on every vehicle and every project that we get at Foose Design. I got to tell you that I've had quite a fun career, and I've worked with a lot of talented people, and I want to thank Boyd Coddington for the opportunities that he gave to me and for all the doors that he opened for this industry. Larry got to work with Boyd when he did the Aluminum Coupe and Godzilla and some fun cars. And Larry's one of my heroes. Tom Taylor, Steve Stanford, Harry Bradley, all these different designers that I got to work with. But right now is a great time, as Larry said earlier. It's time for a change. Things are going to change, and you got 4 years before you get out of college if you're going into college right away. And who knows what this industry is going to be in 4 years. You've got an opportunity to make your own road, do what you want to do. I got to tell you, it wasn't too long ago that my good friend Troy Trepanier over here, if I was to give anybody in this industry an award today, it'd be Most Improved, Troy Trepanier. He's one of those guys that when he builds a car like the Chrysler that I see out here, it motivates me to go back and do my absolute best, because I look at that and think, wow, he's doing better stuff than we are. And that's what motivates us. We all feed off of each other, and everybody wants to outdo somebody else's, or you learn from something. And it's not about outdoing, but it's doing your absolute best, as I said earlier. And I want to thank Troy and his team for building such beautiful cars. And Steve Mole, Roy Brizio, and all the guys that are out there building these. Alan Johnson's got a gorgeous car out here. And that's the stuff that motivates us. And I hope every day that you get up, and whatever it is that you're doing, you go out there and you don't only look at your stuff, but you look at the people that, a lot of people call them, all the other people that are doing the same thing that you're doing. They're not necessarily competitors, they're potential best friends. Just because they have the same job or same career, they also have the same passion. They're doing what they absolutely love to do. I had gone to Art Center College of Design, and there's another school here in Detroit, Center of Creative Studies, which Larry is very involved with. And if that's the type of career that you want, look at these schools today and find out what you want to do. But I had gone halfway through Art Center, couldn't afford to stay, and I left and I moved back to Santa Barbara, where I'm from, and I was running my own business where I was doing magazine designs, designing hot rods, building prototypes with my dad. And I was dating a girl who's now my wife, and she had graduated from UCSB, which is University of California, Santa Barbara. And we had been dating for about a year and a half when one day the subject of marriage came up, and she says, well, I'm not going to marry you. I said, well, what are we doing together? She said, well, you have the potential. I can see myself married to you, but you need to have your college degree. And I hadn't graduated from Art Center. I had left and figured, okay, I'm starting my career and I'm going. But my passion for this woman, my passion for cars, all of a sudden became a passion to get my degree. And I went back to Art Center and I graduated a year and a half later. And I got to tell you, that degree was a door opener for me. I had gone halfway through. I kind of had the basics of what I wanted to do in my career. But when I went back and finished and got my degree and met all the different people in the industry, and you have a showing of your artwork and what you've done at school or even in the industry, you've got a wall and you've got portfolio day, and all these different car companies come in and they look at your work and you start getting business cards from them, and oh, that's a great contact. And all these people that I met, I still stay in contact today, and I got a lot of work out of them. And I got to tell you, it's getting that degree and finishing school that opens the doors and will allow you to do what you really want to do. I never thought I'd be building hot rods as a career. I always thought it would be a hobby. And when I got through school, I went back to work for the company that I was working for at that time. They actually put me through, Oshie Corporation. But I got through, and I thought I would always be doing OE work. We're working here in Detroit, building cars, manufactured OE production cars. And I was working for Boyd Coddington at the time, just doing side work on weekends and nights and just as a passion, as a hobby. And the company that I was working with was starting to, not have as much design work, it was more engineering work. I was still doing it, but they asked me if I could bring in some of my side work as work for them. And I said, well, the problem is, I've never charged any of the hot rod guys what I was doing. It was all trade. I'd get wheels, I'd get parts so I could build my own hot rods. And so I decided I was going to look for another job, and I accepted a job at Ford Motor Company. I was moving here to Detroit. And when I told Boyd, hey, I'm moving to Detroit, and we had a couple cars that we were working on together, he said, why don't you come down and talk to me? So I went down and I talked to Boyd, and he offered me a better position than Ford had offered me. And I thought, if I don't try this, I'm going to regret it, because this is what I'm truly passionate about. So I came down and I went to work for Boyd, and I was there for 5 years before Boyd Wheels went bankrupt in 1998. And that's what forced me to go out and start my own career or my own business. And my wife and I started Foose Design. And it wasn't long after that the producer, Bud Rutzman, came in and said, hey, I want to do a TV show on cars. I said, well, what do you want to do? He said, well, I'm just going to follow you 24/7. I'm going to go home with you. I'm going to follow you with camera. They said, no. You're not coming to my house. I said, I get along with everybody if we build cars, but when I'm trying to build stuff and my wife's fighting with me, I said, I don't want that on TV. Because she'd say, no, you're not building that. But that was when we started. The first show was Rise. And while we were doing that, I had not too much earlier than that, Jesse James wanted me to start this show called Monster Garage, where I was going to be the designer and he was going to build these things. And I turned him down because I knew that what I truly wanted to build were these, Riddler type cars that, there are hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars to finish these cars. I didn't want, the first project was going to be this Mustang that was going to be a lawnmower and a Ford Explorer that was going to be a trash cutter. I don't want those to overshadow what we're doing at Foose Design. And that's when Discovery sent Bud out and we did the ride show. I told Bud, I said, there are thousands of cars in side yards and garages that the people don't have the money or the means to restore these cars. I said, it'd be great to get those cars, finish them and give them back to them. And if you know Bud's childhood, he actually got in trouble for stealing a few cars. And he kind of combined my childhood building cars with my dad and his childhood, pranking and having fun. And that's where overhauling came from. We've done 83 episodes of overhauling. We're actually, I believe we're going to start filming again in June, bring some more episodes out. But, I've truly, as I said before, I feel blessed that I get to do what I love doing. And, I see all the people out here who would like to help on an overhaul one day. So with all this help, we can probably get one done in one day. But I want to thank everybody for coming here. Enjoy your day off from school. Enjoy the show.